Hello guys, welcome to Tiny Scroll. Be sure to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Saving Nora Episode 10. Cherry and Chesty had known each other for over 6 months. They got along well and were good friends. They'd already planned to meet when she got back to the States, so she agreed as soon as Chester suggested the idea. "Which room are you in?" he asked eagerly. Cherry was about to tell him when she suddenly thought of something. "Not tonight. My mom's asleep. Let's meet tomorrow instead." He laughed. "Everyone says you sound like a little girl, because you're using a voice changer and that you're really a grumpy, middle-aged man. Can you at least tell me whether you're a man or a woman?" Cherry grinned. "It's a secret." The humidity in California was mild in winter and dry in summer, making it just right for sleeping comfortably. With the curtains closed, Nora's room was completely dark. She slept soundly. It was the middle of the day when she finally opened her eyes. Cherry and Mrs. Lewis had already had lunch, so she ordered herself takeout. Down at the hotel entrance, Angela watched Anthony enter the lobby. He was in a hurry. She clenched her fists. Over the past few days, Anthony's attitude had been perfunctory whenever she'd called, and all he'd talked to her about was Idyllian pharmaceuticals. She could sense that something was wrong, so she trailed him this morning, not expecting him to lead her here. Hotel Finest was one of the most expensive upmarket places in California. Angela quietly followed him in and watched him go to the bar on the first floor. He approached some waiters, took out some cash, and handed it to them. "You know what you're supposed to do, right? Watch out for my signals tonight." "Yes, sir." They left, and Anthony nervously took a deep breath before taking out his phone and drafting a message. "Hello, Miss Anderson. Sorry if this is presumptuous, but I got your number from the hotel bar. Please meet me there at 8 p.m. After sending this text, he looked at the setup in front of him with satisfaction. He wasn't clear on how he'd offended the pretty woman when he last saw her, but he was confident she would definitely fall for him this time. After all, no woman would be able to resist a romantic move like this. She didn't respond to his message. After a few minutes, Anthony messaged out to his friends. 8 p.m. tonight, Hotel Finest Bar. Be there or be square. He'd reserved the whole place, and he wanted his friends to come and cheer him on, but he didn't realize that he'd accidentally sent Angela the message too. Angela's phone buzzed in her hand. She looked down at the message that had just arrived. Anthony left the bar, and the waiters whispered to each other. "What's Mr. Gray up to? He's prepared a huge surprise. He must be intending to propose, right? Whoever he's getting engaged to is so lucky." Angela's cheeks turned pink in embarrassment as she listened to them speculate and reread the message from Anthony. How could she have suspected that he was being unfaithful? She really should have trusted him. She couldn't help laughing. His tone was exactly the same as any other message. If she hadn't secretly seen all the preparations, she would never have imagined he'd arranged something special for her. She walked out of the bar in a good mood. Then she spotted Nora, who had come downstairs to pick up her takeout. Despite being in her pajamas and slippers and looking half asleep still, she was incredibly attractive. Everyone in the lobby was watching her. How can she possibly afford to stay here? Angela thought enviously, her fists clenching again. She must be pretending to be rich. Before I tell what Angela did to Nora in the hotel lobby, you have to subscribe first. This story will not continue until you subscribe. No, that's a lie. But please subscribe and help us surpass Mr. Who's the Biz in subscriber count. Please. Now back to the story. Everyone in the lobby was watching her. How can she possibly afford to stay here? Angela thought enviously, her fists clenching again. She must be pretending to be rich. Her jealousy got the better of her, and she took a couple of steps toward. "Nora, you don't even have clothes anymore, yet you still insist on staying in this hotel. What's the plan? Seduce some rich guy? Look at yourself. Do you really think you can trick people into spending money on you just based on your looks?" Nora, who was carrying her takeout in one hand and her cell phone in the other, looked confused at Angela's sudden outbursts. She deleted Anthony's texts. Then she replied, "Aha, at least I have a face I'm proud of." Her cat-like eyes swept across Angela's face disdainfully as she insulted her. Angela was infuriated. Is she saying I'm shameless or implying I'm ugly? Or wait, is it both? She narrowed her eyes, but then smiled suddenly. Nora, do you want to know where that abandoned child of yours is? If you do, then I'll see you at the bar at 8 p.m. So what if she's pretty now? Anthony dumped her and picked me. Angela wanted Nora to see with her own eyes how Anthony was going to propose to her. She turned and left. Nora watched her go. 8 p.m. at the bar again. What's going on? I'll see what my precious little sister and ex-fiancé have prepared, she thought as she went back upstairs with the takeout. After lunch, Nora was busy all afternoon. Mrs. Lewis made a healthy dinner. The new suite wasn't the best, but it still had a decent kitchen. Cherry was growing. They mustn't eat out all the time. As she sat at the table, Nora noticed that Cherry looked troubled. The girl sighed deeply. Mummy, I'm bored. Nora stroked her face and asked, Why aren't you playing your games, baby? It's the weekend, Cherry explained. All the school kids are on holiday. Nora smiled. She often felt that Cherry might have forgotten that she was just a kindergartner. She passed Cherry her food and asked, What do you want to do? I'll spend some time with you. It's fine, Mummy. You're busy. Cherry put on her sensible face, and her round eyes darted about. Can you get Mrs. Lewis to walk round the hotel with me tonight to eat? Nora pretended not to notice her daughter trying to be sneaky and chuckled softly. Sure. Her daughter was very cheeky and always coming up with all sorts of eccentric ideas. She'd also always been a smart, sensible child and never let anyone take advantage of her. Nora didn't need to worry about her going for a walk with Mrs. Lewis. As 8 p.m. approached, they finished eating, tidied up, and got ready to leave the room. They split up once they got out into the hallway. Nora headed down to the bar. Cherry watched her mum get in the elevator before taking out her phone and sending a message. Chesty, I'm ready. Where are you? Chester's reply came almost instantly. Table 28 at the cafe on the first floor. I'll be waiting for you here. Cherry grinned. Okie dokie. I'll be there right away. YouTube thinks you will like this video. You may want to watch it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.